El Capitan de Crunch from Millsburg, PA. How can you love Big Noon Kickoff when it's going to rob Penn State of doing the whiteout for Ohio State yet again? Well, I can love Big Noon Kickoff and also feel really bad for you guys. That's how. He is talking about my love for noon kickoffs. I've been to a couple of noon kickoffs in Happy Valley, by the way. I've also been to a primetime whiteout in Happy Valley. I want exceptions to my rules. I don't hold many hard and fast rules in my personal stance on college football. This is why you guys just need to elect me commissioner and be done with it. That way, I can insert myself when I need to into this ridiculous world of TV contracts. TV contracts should work around college football. College football should not be working around TV contracts. You should not have these rigid guidelines and templates wherein Fox, I love you guys, can come in and elbow Penn State out of being able to make whichever game they want to their whiteout. Ohio State, for those unfamiliar with what we're talking about out there, Ohio State comes in there November 2nd. And if they had their way, Penn State would make that thing a 7:30 primetime kickoff, and they wouldn't really care which network it is, but just give them the night game. Sun goes down, the whites come out. You know, in retrospect, I want to have said that a different way. Sun goes down, white shirts come out by the hundreds of thousands, and they get their whiteout. It's a great spectacle. It's wonderful. Everyone loves it. Well, that's not going to happen in all likelihood. Now, we're holding out hope. There's like a 2% chance it still happens because Oregon, Michigan happens that same day, and maybe our friends over at Fox head to Ann Arbor, and somehow, some way, the Ohio State game's the primetime kick. Much more likely is the scenario where the Illinois game's the whiteout, and no one cares. Outside of those two programs, no one really cares. It's a shame. It is a shame. And you're talking to someone here who loves noon kickoffs. I love them. I love them. I love them. And I fully support them. However, there are exceptions to the rule. Just like I don't like neutral site games, but one of my favorites is Texas OU. It's just an exception to my rule. I couldn't care less if they move Florida, Georgia to home and home. But Texas OU is an exception to my rule. Well, this is an exception to my noon rule. I was up there for the whiteout game when they played Auburn a couple of years ago. And here's how bad it is for me. I had a 5:45 a.m. flight out of Pittsburgh. I never went to a hotel. It is so tough to get out of State College, especially to drive that distance. Maybe it was Harrisburg. Anyway, I had a 5:45 a.m. flight. The game kicks off at 7:30. Doesn't really go long or anything like that. I stay for press conferences. We do our couple of CBS hits. I get in traffic for untold amounts of hours. I go straight to the airport and was afraid I was going to miss my flight. So that is why, selfishly, I love the noon kickoffs, because I love getting home same day. But I know that you guys couldn't care less about that because most of you live there. So you're not having to get back to Nashville, Tennessee. And what I want in my personal life shouldn't matter here. But in this case, I'm even willing to overrule my own wishes. I do want the Ohio State game to be the whiteout game. And I wish TV, here's what I wish. I know what the TV contracts say. I wish there were people who loved college football enough and understood what makes the product valuable enough for you to bid all these untold millions of dollars on it, that you had some flexibility, like you baked in flexibility. And it would take congruency, and it would take cooperative appeasement on multiple network sides. But that's what happens anyway. Like when they get in a room for the draft and they take the games they're going to take, it's not like they don't already work together or at least coexist. I wish there was a world where we had an understanding that, yeah, even though we have the rights and we could make this game a noon game, let's make it a primetime game. And you know what? Let's keep it on our network. Let's be able to have that block of airtime for 1 week. And if we have to work on barter, we have to work on trade or whatever, it's the greatest sport in the world for a reason. You guys bid the amounts of money you do for a reason. You should be able to figure it out. Now, here's the trade-off, maybe. Penn State doesn't get their way on the whiteout. They make the playoff, and then they have a home playoff game, and that ends up being the whiteout. That would be wonderful. Although it's not currently on the schedule, that would be wonderful.